Does this bother people, me doing this? Oh God. We're gonna make this through. Don't worry. Damn it, I forgot her name. Charlotte. Let's appreciate this melanin. Hi everybody, my name is Chastiny and welcome to my channel. Yay!
Hi everyone. As you can see, I have an intro now. Oh my gosh, this is so awesome. This is all thanks to my friend and fellow figure skater Melodie, who just so happens to be a banging artist and illustrator. Ugh, she has so much talent. Mel is an artist, as I said before. She has an art blog on Tumblr called Rice Lily Creations. She is an author of a manga or comic. Did I say manga right? Y'all know I don't get things like that right. But it's called Here in the West, which I am currently reading on an app called Tapas. You can also read Here in the West on Webtoons. Just, can y'all do me a favor? Go stop by her pages, show her some love. She deserves it. She made this video intro for me. She didn't have to. And oh my gosh, she's just such a nice, loving, kind person. And I'm like, she didn't have to do this. By the way, if you go look at her creations and you just happen to like it, you can also go support her on Patreon, where if you want to, you can pay $1 or so, whatever her tiers are, and you can get to her creations before the rest of the people. You know, there's good things to being on people's Patreon. I am rambling now, so I'm gonna go because now I'm getting a little bit emotional. Mel, thank you so much for making this video intro for me. I don't know how else to thank you. Like, I've thought about showing up a couple of times with like chocolate and flowers, and then I was like, it's not enough. But thank you so much. And I gotta go before I get too emotional. You go to Cinder. Have fun watching the Cinder video. And I will see you guys around. Thank you. I almost forgot. All of her links will be down in the description below. Please go like, subscribe, share her work. Just do what we gotta do to support. Thank you. Okay, now you can go back.
Hey, if you're new here, pull up a chair, tell me your name. If you're a returning member, tell me how you doing. What's up with the fam? How's the kids, husband and wife? You know, what you've been reading. Tell me what you've been reading. I want to know. Today is another episode of As I Read. Sticky note edition because like I'm in the middle of college. I actually did my homework early so that I could do this today. So fingers crossed that I'll keep that momentum up. Anyway, today I read Cinder by Marissa Meyer. Is that how you say her name? Yes. So Cinder is actually a book that I got from one of my friends that she was like, you have to read this. And I was like, okay, I've heard of it. I've seen it around. But I was like, that doesn't look like I would enjoy it very much. And I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. But for completely different reasons to why other people enjoy this book. 16-year-old Cinder is considered a technological mistake by most of society and a burden by her stepmother. Being a cyborg has its benefits though. Cinder's brain interface has given her an uncanny ability to fix things. Robots, hovers, her own malfunctioning body parts, making her the best mechanic in New Beijing. This reputation brings Prince Kai himself to her weekly market booth, needing her to repair a broken android before the annual ball. He jokingly called it a matter of national security, but Cinder suspects that it's more serious than he is letting on. Although eager to impress the prince, Cinder's intentions are derailed when her younger stepsister, an only human friend, is infected with the fatal plague that's been devastating the earth for decades. Blaming Cinder for her daughter's illness, Cinder's stepmother volunteers her body for plague research, an honor that no one has ever survived. It doesn't take long for scientists to discover something unusual about their new guinea pig, something others would kill for. As you can see, I have made some notes about the book as I read it, because normally I would record myself and just go with it, but let's face it, I ain't got the time for that right now. My first sticky note says the Black Plague. Favorite YouTube video. Honestly, I like watching this YouTube video that talks about the Black Plague. I don't know why, but it's like one of those things I listen to in the background when I'm doing homework or something. It's just very interesting. What does TE stand for? This is a thing after the date. And you know, we have BC for before Christ, and we have AD for after death of Christ. So I want to know what TE stands for, and I don't think, unless I just kind of like grazed over it, which I don't think I did too much grazing in this book. I still don't know what TE stands for. So the N, maybe after the N, or that would be AE after N. I don't know. So, but you know, I never got an answer for that. I don't know what TE stands for. This one says Cinder is a last name. Interesting. Cinder is not a last name. I thought Cinder was a last name, because in here it goes Lynn Cinder, and I was like, oh, Cinder is her last name, Lynn is her first name. I was like, oh, that's cool. Cinder is her last name? That's kind of cool. Cinder is not her last name. Are people discriminating against cyborgs? I mean, I don't get it. I don't get discrimination. I don't understand it. But I kind of see like why they're discriminating, because it's different. Cyborgs are different. They're not human. So discrimination has got to be like the thing. But I'm like, why are y'all discriminating against cyborgs? Cyborgs are so cool. Like, if I had to have an amputee or something, you best believe my amputee leg is going to be like sexy AF. Alright, so this one says osis. It's a medical term, and now I have to break apart the word. So the word is litumosis. Letumosis. And me studying what I study had to take a class on breaking apart medical terminology. To create this word, this medical terminology, I want to, this could be a whole video on its own. IKEA reminds me of BB-8, except a talking BB-8. Really, a lot of the androids and or little robots that run around and they have like a personality kind of reminds me of the Star Wars robots and stuff. Like, I don't really watch Star Wars like that. Like, I watched the Star Wars with Adam Driver in it. And anyway, all of the little all of the little robots and stuff like that, it's like, that's what these robots remind me of. BB-8 seems like a sassy thing. The other one that's shaped like a dome. Like, I know, like, whenever people are talking to those little robots, they're like, yo, watch your language and stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, that kind of reminds me of Ikeo? I don't know. This book has got me thinking of all the medical terminology that I learned like 3 years ago. And yeah, it does. Like, I really thought about medical terminology. I really thought about medical procedures. I actually was talking to the lady who let me borrow this book. we were talking about putting together a code, and we were making an example, and we were like, yeah, well, there would be a code for this to do over and over again because the kid has to grow into it. Like if a kid had a severed limb and then they had a prosthetic leg put on, as they got older and bigger, they would need a new leg every couple of years. And we were just like, yeah. And then she looked at me and she goes, like Cinder, right? And I was like, shut up. This is in class. But it was so much fun because that's exactly what I was thinking. But I didn't want to say anything, but that's exactly what I was thinking. This is not how vaccines work. So I think what I was saying, because I was like, this is not how vaccines work. In this book, I believe, it's been a while because it took me a while to read this book. I believe they were saying that they would inject the girl with the disease, wait for her to get to a certain stage of like dying, and then inject the vaccines that they already created to see if it would combat the disease already in the body. And I was like, that's not how vaccines work. You do not build a vaccine by putting a live strand of disease in someone's body and then putting the vaccine in to see if it fights against. That's not how vaccines work. Yeah, so this one has a spoiler on it because I guessed it. And I was like, I want to be wrong. On the top of this, I wrote, I want to be wrong. At the end of chapter 10, I know the twist. I know the secret. And I don't want to know it. I don't want to be right. I don't want to be right. But I was right. Like, I was like, by chapter 10, this is why it took me so long. Because I knew I was right and I did not want to be right. But by chapter 10, I figured out the twist. The plot twist. The secret. I figured it out. It's very disappointing that I figured that out by chapter 10. When describing and talking about the body of Cinder, they were saying like, oh yeah, a lot of girls who are cyborgs and had their body put together with machinery and stuff like that. A lot of girls don't have like their reproductive organs. A lot of girls, can't have babies. They don't have boobs for real. And if they're super rich, then they can make it look like a body of an actual person and put some synthetic skin over it. But seeing how she's not super rich and she's kind of boxy looking thing, and which I still don't understand, because if she's like a boxy looking, not a female looking thing, then how does Kai find a okay, anyway, the sticker here says, this sticky note says, if reproduction is untouched, then she should have a period. Does she have one? So yeah, like I was saying, they were talking about how like she's lucky because she still has her reproductive system intact. And I was like, so she can't blush, she doesn't cry, but she has a period, right? Does she have a period? Does she get a period? I don't know. It's just a question I had. I don't know. This is a long one. I don't even remember what I wrote on this one. Look how big this is. Okay. Why does Lavinia want to be queen of this earth? And Lavinia is like the queen of the moon or something. And it says, also, her mind-bending powers are about her looks. Doesn't work on screen. So what does she plan on doing if she marries Kai? Is she going to make like screens illegal? Ban the use of her image, no reflection material around her ever, which they did kind of have to like do something like that, where they're like, all the mirrors gotta go, all no screens allowed on her face. But I was like, you want to take over an earth where we have reflective mirrors and we don't do like matte. There's like I think their ship is like matte or something. Well, that's actually a pretty cool looking ship. But anyway, are we gonna go back to like radio use or something like that? Like if you become queen, how do you expect to never, ever, ever be like put on screen? How are you gonna talk to the rest of it? I thought Earth isn't just like one like power. We're not like one superpower. We are broken up into countries and we have different leaderships. And they do this in this book. So how is she supposed to talk to all the other countries and leadership if she's not going to be seen on screen, because the screens and mirrors and stuff show her true looks and how she really looks in real actual life without all of her like mind-bending powers. So I was like, wow, why she want to come to Earth then? What's so great about us Earthlings? She lives on the moon. What's so great about this? I don't know. She can still carry the plague for like an hour on her clothes. She's gonna get someone sick. So her sister gets sick. Well, her stepsister, the only one that's nice to her, gets sick. And she goes to visit her in the sick ward. And she like talks to her for a little bit. And then she leaves. She's like, okay, I gotta go. And it's been explained, because at first she thought she got her sister sick. They were like, no, you can't get her sick because it only lasts for like an hour on the clothes and you're not a carrier, blah, blah, blah. So she couldn't get her sister. She wouldn't have been able to be the one to get her sister sick. Her sister got sick some other way. But then she goes to visit her sister in the sick ward and leaves, and then goes straight to like to the palace. And unless it takes her like an hour or so to walk there, which I don't think it did take her that long to walk there, she went to the palace to give the prince his android. And there's a whole like group of people out there going, we don't want the queen here, grr. And I was like, she gonna get people sick walking around like that, going directly towards people like in under an hour of visiting her sister who is very clearly sick. So I'm just saying that was reckless. Okay, so this one says, so strange that she lumps all the moon people together and doesn't like them, just like the discrimination she faces as a cyborg. Yeah, she don't like the moon people. None of the Earth people really like the moon people. I forgot what they're actually called because, you know, that was me. But she was like, yeah, I don't like them. They're destructive, distasteful. They make you see what they want you to see, and blah blah blah. And she's like, yeah, I don't like them. And I was like, do you not see the hypocriteness in what you're saying? Because people say the exact same thing about you because you have a metal hand and leg. Like I said, I don't understand discrimination. I don't get it. Yeah, he low-key compared her to a rat. And I was like, haha, that made me laugh in the moment, but I don't remember now. I feel like I low-key know where the chip came from. Yeah, there's a chip, and I was like, I feel like I already know where that chip came from. I was right. I don't know, maybe because this book is targeted to like younger kids and stuff like that. Like I don't hate the book. I actually kind of liked it, but I was like, so like it hits you over the head with it. Like, yeah, this. Do you see this hint over here? And I was like, oh yeah, I see the hint. Okay. I don't know why the queen of the moon want to be here, but okay, she wants to be the queen of the moon and the earth. I get it. And then, like, someone's sick with the disease, and she just happens to have a cure for one person for the disease, but it's already too late for the one person that matters most. And I was like, strategic evilness right there. Like, this lady is evil. Normally, I'd be complaining a lot because a lot of the bad people, like, talk about how bad they are, or other people talk about how bad they are, but they don't show how bad they are. This is a good instance of show, don't tell. They ain't tell us. They told us a little about how the queen moved, but when she actually made a power play, that was evil, and I was like, oh, I like that. I bet you she the one that got him sick in the first place. Angrily punching the wall, key angry man montage. Yeah, so, you know, it was one of those moments where the main male character, Kai is that his name? I know he's angry at the queen, and he's like, you know, she has a lot of power right now, and she could low-key like destroy everybody, but she doesn't want to, because then she won't have anybody to rule over. So he's like trying to figure out a way around this, and he goes out and leaves and punches a wall. Ha! And I was like, how did he not break his fist? Is he a cyborg? No, he's not a cyborg. I was like, what? He low-key punched the wall. And I was like, oh. I think the moon people killed people on purpose. I think they purposely and strategically killed different people with the disease. That's what I think. Yeah, that's what I think. They're doing this on purpose. Who's worse, the queen or the stepmom? Like, that was a question. I was like, who is worse, the queen or the stepmom? I still don't know. I'm going to have to go with the queen for biochemical warfare. But the stepmom is pretty bad. Like, she did her stepdaughter dirty. But I hope I didn't give away too much. I'm trying to be spoiler free. It's not probably gonna work because I'm not that good at being spoiler free. Anyway, there are a few things about this book that I did like the overall experience, though I questioned almost everything. First of all, I remember just looking and then someone, like, they wrote loosely based on Cinderella. And I was like, they used that loosely very correctly, because I was like, throughout the whole thing, I was like, this doesn't feel anything like, I see elements of a Cinderella thing, but loosely based on Cinderella, I was like, they ain't playing. However, the problem is that the cover does not look like it's loosely based on Cinderella. The cover looks like it's based on Cinderella. So I was expecting the red shoe to come into play. The red shoe don't come into play. I was expecting maybe like her like cyborg parts to be covered in skin. The shoe did not come into play, but the element of the shoe being left on the thing on the step came into play. The stepsisters kind of came into play because, you know, it's the evil stepmom and the two sisters. So one sister wasn't that evil, and the other one was just like evil? Bad. Just bad. Not evil. The queen is evil. The family's just bad. The prince guy was like into her, but it was hard for, okay, when people describe characters, I tend to see what they describe, but like I don't do hyped up like movie star pretty looking ugly people. If you tell me like mousy brown hair and like a thin face and like just smudges of dirt all over your face all the time or something like that, that's what I'm gonna imagine. And I'm not gonna imagine an not attractive person. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you tell me someone's attractive, they're not gonna be attractive. Therefore, when Kai is like giving like eyes or something, I'm like, hell is he looking at? I did like this little like tension building moment in the elevator, and I was like, oh, but in fact, no. Yeah, we didn't get the Anyway, it's okay. Overall, I thought this book was pretty decent. I didn't hate it. I already knew what to expect because one of my other friends' daughters was like, yeah, you kind of know from the beginning what's gonna happen, but it's still a pretty good read. And I was like, yeah. And then of course it ends in a cliffhanger where you have to go to the next book to figure out what's going on. But let me tell you, I think a lot of the things that happen at the end of the book should have been in the middle. There's so many things going on in my mind right now. Okay. Right now, I'm about to be like hardcore spoiler. Okay. In this book, Cinder is like, okay, she's a cyborg or whatever. Turns out also that she is like a lunar, which is what the moon people are called, which I was like, called it. And she's a very important lunar, which I was also like, called it. I feel like she should have went to jail in the middle of the book and then broke out to go warn the prince at the ball and be able to use her lunar power at this point to become like super pretty and like go tell him what he needs to know and then like fight the queen. Of course, that would have been what the ending would have been like if any other person wrote it, but it wasn't. And I just think a lot of things could have been moved forward in the book a little bit. I would have preferred a different ending. Like, I mean, it's loosely, very loosely based on Cinderella, which means I still would have wanted my very loosely ending based on Cinderella. Maybe not a happily ever after married kind of ending, but I definitely would have been like, the prince needs to know certain things by now, and he should be like, I stand with this one and something, and you know, discrimination, it doesn't matter. She's a lunar and a cyborg, and I love her. I'm attracted to her. Like, when he found out that she's a cyborg and a Luna at the ball, he was like, so was it all fake in the first place? That should have been like a little farther up in the book, so he would be like, no, I can't look at you right now. I need to do this, and this. And then she breaks out of jail and be like, look, this is me. This has always been me. I've never used the power because I've never had it. I didn't know I had it. I never got to use it. Whatever. And then they go together, fix it, defeat the queen, or whatever they're gonna do in the next couple of books. But I felt like it was like dragged out a little bit. I like Ikea, and I was like, so we just not gonna plug her into another one and bring her back? No, we just gonna leave her as is. There's so many unresolved issues in here that I was like, I know the next book is probably gonna resolve them, but that's not how. What if I don't want to read the next book? This could have been a standalone. I gave this book like 3 stars. I don't feel like it deserves 2 stars because it's not bad. It's not a bad book. But it definitely doesn't deserve like 4 stars because I was like, it's too predictable and I know what's gonna happen. And it did happen, so no. But 3 stars seem to be like, it's in the middle. If I could do 1 out of 10, I would give it like 3 stars. It wasn't anything interesting. I don't think the cover matches the book at all. It kind of hurts my feelings. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. I'm probably going to read the second book anyway because I love a good mystery and I want to know what happens next. Also, I saw that some of them have like black characters as the main characters. So, yeah. Might have to go check that out a little bit. You know, I love me a good black lead. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of As I Read, where today I read Cinder by Marissa Meyer. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please tell me what you think about it in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe. If there's any books you think I should read, please let me know in the comments down below. If you want to send me a message or you want to email me, all the information will be in the description box down below. And I will see you guys next week. Bye. Cinder out.